will just tell you this is a true story. So what do you think we should paint each other for the annual Naked Bike Ride? He asked expectantly. I panicked. That's fun. When is it? I responded with practiced nonchalance. Will we be in Seattle when it's happening? No, he said. I think we'll just have missed it when we visit this summer. My heart jack-in-the-boxed back into my chest from the pit of my stomach, and I could breathe again. Oh, okay, too bad, I said, masterfully masking relief. I went on to remark something about how uncomfortable it must be to cycle au naturel, deftly evading his original question with ebullient laughter. And then I quick-changed the subject. It wasn't the nakedness that fazed me. At 35 years old, I still didn't know how to ride a bike. David and I had just started dating a couple months prior, and he was unaware of this fun fact. And I wasn't quite ready to reveal the warts and all to him just yet. This was part of myself that made me feel like a helpless baby. Incompetent, really. I wasn't prepared to divulge that. Little did he know he was actually dating a child. I had safely harbored and ushered this dirty little secret from girlhood into womanhood, all while steadily growing more and more ashamed that most 5-year-olds, also known as tiny drunk humans, have the ability to do something so seemingly simple, it inspired the maddening saying it's as easy as riding a bike. I had resigned myself into thinking that maybe the activity just wasn't for me. I was the arty one. I could easily ascribe my lack of cycling skills to my aversion to all things sports. At least I could swim, read, not drown. For years, I had kept my secret closely guarded. Somehow it wasn't a big deal when I was a kid, especially since I didn't live in a small enough town where bike riding to friends' houses was safe or even really that much of a thing in Rockford, Illinois. As childhood morphed into young adulthood, I continued to not disclose my secret to good friends, guys I dated, you name it. If the topic came up, I'd try and bypass it somehow. Joke that I never actually really learned, little did they know, or claim that I hadn't ridden in so long that I think I had forgotten, that sort of thing. My ego remained intact, all was well. As young adulthood rapidly morphed into adulthood in New York City, I daydream about all of the things I was missing out on. I longed to be able to ride a city bike and ride aimlessly around town, travel to Amsterdam and ride along the canals, zip across mountain biking trails to Costa Rica, where I had recently celebrated my 35th birthday earlier that year. Oh, the places I'd go, if only I knew how to ride a bike. Smash cut to 1 year later, 1 year wiser, or that much closer to death, however one deals with getting older. I am 36, as is David. Another fun fact, we happen to be born on the same day and same year, but that's another story for another time. David and I are still together, and I've confessed this skeleton in the closet in the months since. Now I'm back in his hometown of Mercer Island, Washington, for the third time. David's father picks us up from the airport and takes us out to lunch. During discussion of our week's potential itinerary over sushi, his dad proclaims that tomorrow afternoon will be the only window of time available for me to learn how to ride a bike. He and David are going to offer up their teaching services, but only if I want to learn. Well, guess David's dad is in on the secret now too. Awesome. That all too familiar, heart-sinking feeling resurfaces. I'm torn. I want to learn. And I'm also exhausted from traveling and would rather not think about this source of anxiety right now. Also, why does tomorrow have to be the day Laura learns how to ride a bike? I've gone decades without this ability. What's a few more weeks, or months, or years? David gently coaxes me to learn once and for all. Is this really finally going to happen? My cheeks flush, replaying all my failed attempts beginning at age 5. Back when I was the sick kid who just had her gallbladder removed, my mysterious gut issues rendering me closer to an elderly adult than a kindergartner. I thanked David and his father for their generous offer to teach and said I'd think on it. Tomorrow's now today. It's a perfect summer day in Seattle. David, his father, and I are rejuvenated from a delicious onigiri lunch coupled with a Chinese barbecue dessert in the International District. My mind shifts a bit. Maybe today is the day I learn how to ride a bike once and for all. We drive back to David's childhood home on Mercer Island. This singular window of unaccounted time is now glaring before me, like a menacing storm cloud that can just as easily shift to reveal the sun. David and his father are prepared to teach me how to ride a bike, but I'm just not having it. Unconvinced that I can learn this major life skill in the mere 2-hour allotment we have before the next planned activity of the day. I'm annoyed. I run upstairs to stew for a bit. And then, without thinking, I throw my hair up, change into bike shorts, a tank top, and sneakers, and run back downstairs. Gotta look the part to look the part. Yes, I'm ready, I announce. Let's go. Next thing I know, I'm unabashedly donning a Barbie pink helmet that belongs to the 10-year-old child of David's good friend. Tentatively teetering on David's boyhood mountain bike on the shiny new track in back of his former middle school. With David beside me and his dad right behind, and after countless bouts of failing to turn into the fall, I finally get a handle of balancing on 2 wheels. And suddenly, as if I've known how to all along, I'm riding a bike. David's stroll has now morphed into a jog in an effort to keep up. It's as easy as riding a bike takes on a new, less hostile meaning. I get it now. I whiz past a couple little girls, age 5 or younger, and I am almost blissfully unaware of the bewildered expressions blanketing their contorted faces, gawking at this full-grown adult apprehensively riding this little kid's vehicle, all while I'm beaming ear to ear as my newfound bike legs begin to take shape. Later that day, David's father texts me a couple videos of the momentous occasion. The first one showcases my first steps as a bike rider, his son trotting beside me while offering subtle words of encouragement. The second is of me triumphantly riding solo without David, shouting, "I'm 5!" through fits of laughter into the modern-day equivalent of the handheld camcorder, the iPhone. Later, as I'm packing to fly back to New York, I text my mom, "I have big news," and share the footage. Failing to realize that most mothers would take the big news text from their adult child as something very different. I got a promotion. I'm engaged. I'm pregnant, perhaps, but not my mother. Her baby had finally learned how to ride a bike, and that deserved an all-caps celebration. "Laura, I am so proud of you." This is all in all caps. "This is awesome. It just took the love of your life to help you." I share my mom's candid sentiments with David. He beams. I'm elated. David broaches the Fremont Solstice naked bike ride for a second time, wondering what we should paint each other as now that I can actually participate. This time I laugh. My laughter as hearty and buoyant as my newfound bike legs. A nearly lifelong weight has been lifted. What a profound word, yes, can be. It's diminutive, yet immense, sort of scary. A sparsely lettered, subtly bold statement that can serve as both a quiet affirmation and a booming proclamation. Yes. A tiny word that's all too easily evaded by no or can't, eschewing any exploration. It can feel intimidating to try a yes on for size, tugging at its ill-fitting sleeves. Embarrassing, uncomfortable. Yet those 3 little letters emboldened me to face a decades-long source of shame. They took me out of my comfort zone, got me out of my own way, and enabled me to step into the vastness of possibility. All by rejecting to cloak myself in the downy, soft familiarity of no or I can't, and proclaiming yes instead. Standing stark naked to my fear, and a little bit closer to bearing it all on a bike. How beautiful and vast and brimming with possibility we all are, and how easy it is to squander. What a world there is on the other side of